Ciao nice people! Welcome to this new stream. We are back on game development. As always, as sometimes. So, we need to continue the stuff we interrupted last time. Which wasn't the most straightforward thing ever. So, we are gonna try to do something. Okay, so what were we trying to do last time? Last time we were trying to do a randomized sokoban minigame, which sounds very hard. That's why I tried to make it the most simple I can. For example, here. Last time we got our sokoban route here, which now I realize that it's not formatted as I wanted. But here we have the route for the sokoban, which is we take the furthest point away from the protagonist. Let's see if we can see it here. The furthest point from the protagonist, 12-8 here, right? Here, 12-8, which is way out of the range. So yeah, that's another issue we need to solve. And slowly moves towards the player, which should be here. Or to be specific, it probably will move it towards here, which is the random point chosen, right? I don't know. Where is the target? 6-5. 6-5. Okay, wants to go here. Weird though, it starts on the bot from 7-5. 7-5. Where is 7? Here? Wait, is the last number 7-5-6-5? Probably, yeah, the destination target point is this tile above. So, the thing is, we first see if there is a way to push the player from this area to find the exit. Then, from that tile, we draw a random path from a corner. There is still an issue though that I'm not considering if I walk through the area in the middle where the hero is. We can visualize it better after we complete the programming of it. So for now, okay. For now we need to complete the second part of the puzzle. So the problems, maybe we can fix some of those right now. Where is player dodge here? We have the sokoban minigame. Second part, first part of the sokoban. So in the first part, I feel like the arena and X should be decreased by 1 because we overshoot it by 1. Okay. We have to consider other things, but for now that's what we do. This is the simplest part. I feel like we need to consider other things later, like enemies body blocking us. We'll see though, we'll see. For now, we see the basis. The very basis. Also, this one should be decreased by 1 as well, right? I feel like it should be included here though. It should be in the definition. So it should be right away subtracted by 1 on the base definition. That means though we need to check if this is used correctly somewhere else. I feel it's right. Maybe now we need to put an equal here, because now we consider the end of the arena as the last walkable tile, not the tile right after. So same here. And I think we updated the code as we wanted it. Okay, Now, we fixed that small mistake, but we need to do other things before. So, another thing we should fix is all the data is stored in a single array. I want it to be a multi-dimensional one. So, the final path is there. Here. And every step I add to the path 3 values. The x, y, and if we are changing direction. Which is important to define or find if... find how to place the blocks to sokoban push. Push. So where do we add it? Here. We add to the final path all the 3 variables. Though they should be inside here. Should be inside a index. So they are separated. They can be separated. Okay. That's nice. And I feel like at the end we should add the last step. No, because it's already in the second part of the sokoban. Okay. So now we have both parts of the sokoban. We should probably fuse them, right? I think we should. Though first, in the second part of the sokoban, just to make them match, we should add an extra parameter, right? Which is always false if we turn around. I don't know if we turn around though. Well, for now, let's see for like it is right now. We have all the entire path for our sokoban. Now, how do we do anything with this? Well, first we should color it, right? We can color it. Let's see, this will immensely help. How do we color? Reachable types. Here we type reach and the color. Pretty simple. I just need to send the coverage. Okay. So, the reachable tiles. And let's see. Reachable tiles, and we send all the infos. pt.2, how is it return? Again, parameters, right? It's fine. So we should join the 2 arrays together. Concat here. We should concat the 2 arrays. So we have the final path all together. Okay. And now we see what happens. I hope it doesn't crash. Here, okay, you see it. Just for a moment, but here it draws the sokoban a little too straightforward, but maybe it was the randomness. Let's see. Yes, okay, you see, it's working. The game draws a line to go to the side of the player and then push it outside of the range. It works. There's an error where it doesn't consider enemies. So we should block it if there is an enemy on the tile. Only an enemy, not an hazard. So, this is on the first part of the path. Well, does it work in the second one? Does the second part of the path consider if there's an enemy on the next tile? Let's see. It only checks if it's inside the arena, right? We should try later. For now, it's definitely a problem for the first part of the path. Let's see. Define first part here. So, if overshooting and check if tile is walkable. Okay, we need to work on this function. Yeah, because as you can see, it doesn't work. We need to check if... well, we just need to check if there is an enemy on the tile. So, how do we check if there's an enemy? I don't know. Let's see. I definitely think there is something. Where is? Ah, here. Okay, study for movement walkable. That's probably what we should use instead of this. So let's use this in one instead. That's all right. Okay. One extra one here. Where do you go? Okay, perfect. Now we check on this one. Is study for movement walkable? Well, let's go. We just need to check if there is an event on that tile. So, for now at least. I think we just need to call get the coordinates on that spot. So XY, how was it called? Okay, here, event I XY exclude. We are getting the coordinates on that specific tile. The event ID on that specific tile. This one. We get, yeah, the first event on top of it. Oh, hello Ragnarok. Oh, nice to see you there. How it's going? Nice to see you there, really. What a surprise. I'm doing well, thanks. We are working on the game for the game jam, Beyond Expectations. And maybe I went beyond what is necessary here because I'm programming a random, a completely extra thing, which is a randomized sokoban minigame for a small section of a battle system. That's a little complicated, but I feel like I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We just need to do the last steps and maybe we can finally visualize at least what I'm trying to go for. But it took an entire stream before to set up everything. So here this event returns the event ID on top of where the player is. But it doesn't tell us if it's blocking the way or not. That's done from another function, which was the hazard, check for hazard function. Where is it? Yeah, good luck finding the hazard keyword around. Since you can walk on hazard, technically. Maybe here, character info? No. There was another thing. Oh wait, we just need to check inside the hazard array. Here, right? There should definitely be a function for it. For checking if an event is an hazard or not. I'm pretty sure there is, come on. I swear there has to be a function that checks if the event is an hazard or not. If there's not, I would be very surprised. I swear, where? I'm very surprised. I don't think I did it. Well, I did a check here maybe, because with the hazard array here I check if it's included. So we should instead delegate it to an event, right? Function check is that event an hazard, and we have the event ID, and here we can check if by loading the array of the hazards if that event ID is defined or not. So we return this. Return. We should return the opposite. So if that event is stored in the hazard list, that means it's an hazard. If it's not, then it's undefined. We should do something like this. Okay, more readable maybe. So if it's defined, then true, it's an hazard. Otherwise, it's not. Now we just need to replace it somewhere. So, mainly when I declare this variable, since I feel like I'm using that only for this. Okay. This should be an opposite though. Okay. And we don't need this anymore. Okay. So, all this for writing one line instead of two. Well, also because I feel like it was needed. So, here in the player dodge, we need... No, wait, it was to check if the tile was walkable. Tile for movement, here it is. So we get the event ID and then we check if has an hazard array. How was it? Hazard. Is that event an hazard here? Okay, if that event is an hazard, it's walkable. We should though consider that sometimes there is no event, or very often there is no event in the middle. So if event ID is defined, we check here. So is that event a hazard? I should though check if it's an enemy, not if it's an hazard. Because if it's an hazard, it's still walkable. If there's nothing, it's still walkable. It's only not walkable if that thing is an enemy. So maybe I should make some more order here, I feel like. The one that checks if the thing is an enemy. I feel like there is already one. If it's not, I should make it. Because enemy index here. I check. No, wait. I feel like I already checked it. Let's see where I check meta. Not many times. So, a simple thing like this, I check if the thing has a meta value. If it doesn't, it's not an enemy. So we do something like this. That no, this can cause an issue though, right? Not always. So now we return on our code to check if the tile is walkable. Walkable. Yeah, this one. Okay. And let is hazard equal to false by default. And if it's not a hazard, that means it could be an event. And if let's make it opposite. So, if there is an event on that tile, and that event is not a hazard, we need to check if is event. So, if that has the specific note char, that means it's an enemy. So you cannot walk on it. Is enemy, okay. Return. So, and we return. Yeah, if it's an enemy, we return false. Otherwise, it's walkable for now. Later we should probably fix this. Okay. Now let's see. First, if it doesn't crash. Second, I knew it. This one is not defined. Why? Ah. I need to collect this entire stuff. Okay. And we check if we have other issues on the drawing the path. Let's see. Okay, you see here it's dodging the goblin, maybe. Well, there's a like 50% chance it dodged the goblin. You see it's working. It always aims for the upper part of the list. Let's see for the second one. Okay, here though it's going on the goblin though. That's wrong. Why is so? Oh, wrong button. Why did my Opera... I don't know, Opera is weird sometimes. It doesn't behave. Needs correction. I was saying. Here. So, here it's the path. The first side of the path, maybe? No, wait, that's another thing. Where is the path? Oh, wait, yeah, maybe it's this. For 5. It's not starting at the right parameters, though. Oh, doesn't feel right. This is the other path. For 5 people. The numbers are weird. What is this? I feel like this is not the right array. Though it clearly shows that it's drawing a path that doesn't feel completely wrong. Just partially. Let's do it better. So, returning to the dodge. So, let final path full. We join the two arrays. Maybe the concat did something wrong? Let's see what happens. Let's see. Here. And we also draw it. Let's see. Okay, here it's on the goblin, so it's not really fixed. Let's see. Final array. It's this one. Okay. This feels more reasonable. It doesn't have the true false here, but not a problem. So, 11-7, 11-6, 10-6. It's going here to the goblin, so it's wrong. That means it doesn't realize the path is wrong. So this one doesn't trigger. Though it clearly doesn't overshoot. So if the path is going way out of, wait, here, okay, if the path is going way out of line, like 2 above here for example, then it will go the other direction. If it's overshooting, or if the tile is not walkable. Though doesn't seem to return the right thing. It's considering the next step, right? Yeah, path X plus the current direction. Oh, wait, the current direction doesn't change here, wait. Okay, no, here, I change the current direction if the path is not right. So yeah, it's fine. The problem lies probably on the function here. So what do we do here? So it doesn't return false. Maybe it never enters here. So if event ID is different from undefined and it's not a hazard, it says there's an enemy there. I don't see why it's not returning. We return event ID here to see if it happens or not. Why now suddenly it matters? What's the deal? So on 8088. So this is undefined. I don't know what's wrong with you. It literally is not an hazard. What is the number? Let's see. Also, why do you run this right now? Because probably it's considering I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Let's show the event ID so at least we can have an idea, but we could probably avoid it by going with extra tension. 0. Oh, okay, it's the protagonist, I get it. Sure, we can just check if the event exists. Okay, we don't even need to check if it's an hazard or not. Okay, because I don't know why it checks the event number 0. Oh well. 10, okay, so there's the enemy 10 in the way. And then enemy 8 as well. And the 10 again. And 8 again. How many times do you need to run this? Oh no. Because it's used elsewhere, yeah. 8, 8, 8. Though it runs after showing the path, so the issue is elsewhere. The issue is first let's remove this. This one didn't run when drawing the sokoban path, so it probably returned the wrong value. I don't know. Sometimes it returns false, but I don't know even for what. Let's see, return again there. We are checking the next tile. But apparently it's not enough. Same here. I just want to check if there is an enemy on the next tile. We need to get some parameters and get more information. And everything. So... let's return here. We need to have other console information. And we see here the information. I hope this will be enough, but there is still a mystery aloof around everywhere. Let's see. And let's clear it. Now. Okay, drew without a goblin. Let's see. Yeah, for now nothing, because the goblin is not in the way. So it's fine. Second one, let's see. Clear and go. Okay, this one is clearly going on the goblin. But it never shows the right ID, so that's wrong. We should check the coordinates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the number is right. It's checking the wrong coordinates though. So, X and Y. Okay, at least we can have a clean view of this. That's pretty nice. Clean, thanks. Okay. So, no, we should walk at least a little to avoid having a potentially unbeatable path. Okay. Now, let's see. Ha! Okay, it walks straight on the goblin. Let's see. Checks 11-6. Which is this one. And does... Wait! Y is undefined. Oh. Oh. We are getting an issue with X and Y, maybe. Well, the second time... Ah, okay. Yeah, you can see the Y is not defined, but because every value is in the X. Maybe the solution is pretty simple. Let's see. So. Ah, yeah, I see why. I'm sending only one parameter. It was encapsulated in an array. Okay, here. I don't know why I did it. Now it should probably work. Let's see. Okay, a little rough of a path, but may still work. And you? Okay, okay. For now it's promising. Let's see. Well, here probably it's impossible. Let's see. Yeah. And it crashes, but it's a problem for later. Now we have a path. It works. We can just refine it later. We need to make the sokoban at this point. How? Well, a good question, but at least most of this is done. First we need to have the items for the sokoban. So let's add a new event. The block. We will use a default rock for now. If we find it here, okay. We can use a harder rock, yeah. Okay, this one. This one should be pushable. So when I touch it, it moves away. Simple. So. This event moves toward the player. Doesn't wait for completion because if there's nothing, it will get stuck everywhere, everything. all the time. Okay. We should make him fast as the player, so to avoid problems. And trigger some player touch. Okay, it does have the walking animation. And that's it. Do I need a note? I don't really think so. Okay. Doesn't need anything, okay. I just need to know it's the event number 4. Okay, good. Now we know we are spawning the event number 4 and it's freely pushable. So now we need to spawn it. So, where do we spawn it? Well, everywhere. Everywhere in the arena. So, here we have the full path. I would say before spawning it though, we need to set up the win condition. Because it might make it harder. Because, as you can see, you instantly dodge. You don't have to do anything. Because I didn't set up anything. Here I define sokoban dodge setup, but nothing more. That's why, like, here we need to set up a timer. Like the buttons. Let's see. Stop player movement, the timer, blah blah blah. We could copy the rest. I can even say that we could just copy paste this. Right? Yeah, let's go. Dodge timer count here. Okay, so again, what it does. Lets the player move, starts a timer based on a variable defined beforehand, and starts a loop, where every frame checks if the player walks on hazards, and counts down the timer. That's simple. At the end, says that the player is no longer in dodge, blocks the player, checks if the player dodged or not, and clears the temporary events. Okay, that's simple. We just need to call it every minigame. Okay. The win condition though is... Unfortunately, is not defined here, the win condition for everything. The win condition is here having the dodge requirement met. We could... Ouch. No, unfortunately... No, wait, we still need to push the player away, right? We still need to push the player away, which will be this event. That means we could have this one as a pushable event only in a specific scenario. Which is not even hard to make. Let's see. Dodge mechanic. Ooh. We may have a little issue. No, it's fine, it's fine. So. This is what we will be pushing. But it only works if the dodge mechanic is 12. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. Hoping it doesn't create an issue. Okay, this will be pushed away. So, away from player and skip if cannot move. And after this, we also need to check if it's inside the area, inside the range of the move. How do we do? Good question. I don't know. Okay, so we need to check if it's inside the area. Let's see, inside dot arena. We don't have it. We should make it. Wait, when we move it, when we define the path to save the player, we check here if the path is safe. So it's here. Here, it's the position outside of skill range. Okay, okay, that's exactly what we need. That's the function we need. What do we need for this? We need the position offset and skill area. Ah, with the offset. That could be annoying to have. We could maybe have an extra parameter that says absolute values or not. That's pretty annoying. We should have... I hate relative and absolute values. All of them. All of them. Okay, so the values here are, we have an absolute coordinate for the player, but we only have the relative coordinates for the skill range, even if we draw them on the ground. So we should have them absolute, right? So we should maybe add another parameter is values relative, which is by default true. We can specify if they are false. I don't even know. I don't even remember what it's doing here. Ah, this is checking. It's. I should add more comments, as I say. So this is checking if a specific position is outside of a skill range. And for each spot of the skill, checks if that spot is inside. Okay, okay, pretty straightforward. I think we should get information from the move. Let's see. Just to remember. We want the enemies to do the move. Is the move here? A little too much. Here. No. Here. No. Before. What is... maybe not printing the move anymore. Oops. Not a problem, we print it again. Because now I want to reference this information we have. Every time an enemy uses a move, all the information is stored here, though it's not stored in the most efficient way, I would say. We need the targeted tile info, but it's relative. That's why we also need then the where is it? The XY of the tile info targeting, which luckily it's stored in a skill, in a list, in a that thing. So we just need to check the parameter 100 or 101, both of them. All of those is stored on the variable number 53, action data. Yeah? Yeah, it is. Action data stored in variable 53. So we can just, if values relative, We need to get variables value 53. We get all the information of the action, and we need specifically to get the coordinates. So let offset x, come on, let offset y, which by default are 0. If the values are absolute, then we get action data and we get specifically the x. So we increase the offset x by the coordinates of the attack, so we can convert the values from absolute to from relative to absolute. So we add the value stored in 1, 0, 0. Same for y, the value is stored in 1, 0, 1. Okay, now we add to the entire, while checking the position of the target, we can have an option to check with absolute values. That also means we need to give them information about the position. Absolute as always, okay. We can make here values absolute. Maybe it's easy to read. By default it's false. Okay. We have it. Now, we need to call this when we move the player or ourselves. Okay, this game is not going to be easy even to explain. And we need to give the information. What information? The position offset, the skill area, and value absolute. Those are not really things you can buy at the grocery store. I don't know even what it means. But it's only called here. I need to give in an array the coordinates, the hit tiles, which I can simply get from coverage of the skill, which we will do right now. So, skill wait, will it be still absolute? Oh no, because I'm not using those parameters. Here, the skill area needs to have the extra offset to be converted into absolute. And now it should check. So, the skill coverage is stored in get coverage of the skill. It's stored in action data on the value 0, which is again in game variables value 53 if I'm correct, in the position 0. We get the area. So in the position outside of skill range we get these event codes. We don't know them, let's see. But for now we send these event codes, the skill coverage, and the true to say that it's absolute. I wouldn't say easy, but okay, we just need to define these event codes. Let me open Artesia as always, because I never remember how to reference them. I could check online, but I have my project right here, so why not? So it's game app events, this event ID dot x probably. Okay. Okay, x, and same with y. Should work. Let's see. I really hope it works. Let's see, now we should also have a some time to move here, right? Yes, here, and we can push it. No. Ah, okay, because we go through. We go through. Yeah, we shouldn't be able to go through only in this minigame. Also, we should be positioned on another side, only for this minigame again. So, sokoban here. Dodge timer count, unfortunately, needs to be specifically put in everyone in a almost similar way. I could parameterize this, but for now it works. So, set up player movement, one extra thing. The player is not transparent anymore. Okay. And what else? Yeah, the win condition is different now. Because here I check if the position is inside or outside skill of range after I move it, but nothing will save the feedback, so we need to store it. I would say... Wait. I actually can store it in a variable. So, we store if the position is safe or not. Returns true if it's safe. So, if position safe, we can set the value of the variable that says if we are safe or not. We can probably just define one. And that variable was, I forgot, 46. And that means, again, yeah, again we can store everything in the right position. So, cut this, put here, from the stuff picture, here. Okay. I hope we can easily parameterize this in this other event to avoid copy-pasting the same stuff all the time. How much is defined the requirement? Well, we can define the variable, set the variable to 10 just to be sure. And I forgot the number of the value again. 46 was it? 46! I don't know why I remembered. I don't have such a bad memory then overall. Okay, so if the position is safe, it stores to variable 46. Otherwise it doesn't. Also, I feel like even the player should move. Player, move forward. Skip, you cannot move, of course. They move together, that's friends. Let's see. And now we can move. Can we push it away? No? Why? It still goes through. Maybe this one goes through? Ah, okay, yeah. This one goes through. We can just do it here. We can just say, hey, that event doesn't go through. True off. We need to be sure though at the end it goes true on again. Okay. Either case. And now it's safe. Doesn't feel safe to me because variable, what was it? 45. Dodge progress is 0. It shouldn't be, it should be 10, right? And yeah, when it's 10 it's completed, but why didn't it change? Variable 46, was it? Yeah. Maybe the value was not true? Is position outside of skill range? I give the course, the coverage and the true, but maybe one of those is wrong? We should check here now in the code again. We define the offset, which only counts if the values are absolute. And they are, because I said true. So here I store the action, the information about the action, specifically the target point. So I can get the center point of the skills. So I can add it to every area spot to get an absolute value of the coordinate. And check it with the coordinates I want to check. So I don't see the issue. Let's see. Console.log. I need to print a lot of variables. So area X. Then just X. We just check the X value for now. Do we send it as a array? I think yeah, we do. Maybe the player X is wrong. Wait again. We have a lot of numbers. What is this wizardry? Okay, yeah, this happens because it's the entire loop. Why are there negative values again? Wait, only 08, 18, 08. Wait, is this a string, not a number? Ah, yeah, because I summed those two, yeah. I summed them like this. Well, still 8. So the number here is right? Because it's targeting the coordinate 8. No, it's not 8, though. This is not 8 parameter, that's why it's wrong. It's considering it as the 8 parameter. But this is definitely not an 8, it's a 5. I would say very suspicious. Wait, also the position offset of the player is 6. I pushed it here. And that's not a 6, that's a 7? No, I don't know. Let me see again. Impossible path. Well, we need still to fix this. We are quite in a... No, I wouldn't say in a pickle, but... I could have chosen a simple minigame, now that I think about it, but I really wanted to do this. We need to go beyond expectations, right? So what do we have? What's the issue? Well, I got confused. We are... Okay. The offset is not right. Why? Why action data is wrong? Let's see. Okay, delete. Let's go. Now we can delete this again and try to move. Go. So we have the information. I need to get the 1, 0. Wait, it's right? 1, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 1 here. Wait. 1, 0, it's 8. That's not the number, right? No, wait. 0, 4. 8, 4. Wait, that's the coordinate of the enemy casting the spell, not the coordinates of the center of the skill. That's stored elsewhere. That's the issue. Where is the skill? So, targeted tile info here. No, wait, no. Let's see. Where is the skill targeting? Ah, okay, here, -3 from the origin. So I need to sum to it also this other parameter, which is targeted tile info relative. I need to sum 1, 1. Well, 1, 1, 0 and... Okay, it's getting slightly more complicated. Nah, it's fine. So, other than this, I also need to add, to consider the value instead of 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1, 1. Because I get the position of the enemy casting the spell plus the direction he moved to select the target of the spell from itself. I could have done it better, but it works now. Let's see. Yeah, saved. Easy. Let's see again. If I move it up... Oh, it's not. Definitely not saved here. Ooh. Why? Let me see again. Clean. And go. It's not saved. So, Dex is 5. What's the issue? It returned true for some reason. Why? Because I want to check different things, right? Here it returns true if... When does it return true? Wait. It returns true if... a position matches. So I should get the opposite value then. Let's see. I only use it here. I don't think I did it right here. So let's see again. Here I check. Check if every targeted tile has the X and Y of what I'm checking. That means for each tile of the area skill, each tile of this red thing, it checks if it matches with the coordinates. So if those coordinates are at least in one spot in this, it returns true. Which is not what I'm looking for, should be the opposite. It turns false if it's not in the range. It turns true if by running all of these, none of them match. Let's see now. Weird that the other thing worked. What's your problem, game? Shut up, RPG Maker. Dev is talking. Okay. Because it wouldn't fit. No. It doesn't seem to cause any problem. Let's see. For now. Okay, I knew it. So the problem was probably caused by the change here. Maybe I should invert it for some reason. Because before it was working when the options were inverted. Okay, yeah, here. Let's see now. Okay, still inside, still inside. and should be free, but let's see again. Inside, 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 free. It counts an extra tile to be free. Let's see the range. Yeah, not here. Oh, maybe it counts the tile. Yeah, because maybe it's in the same frame, so it doesn't count the next frame. I should wait one frame just to have it considered on the next tile. So here, save. Yeah, okay, it works. Let's see again. So here, save. Yes, it works. It works. It works. Awesome. So we just, well, there's a lot of stuff to do. We need to spawn the player first on the 8th position. So here, sokoban. We define sokoban.setup, and we should probably also save the information we need, because it's not returning anything for now. Or if it does, I don't see it. So, define first part of sokoban path. Okay. We should return the coordinates of the puzzle, start puzzle X and Y. Even if it's the first parameter. Right? Yes, it's the first parameter. So we can get from final path the first parameter, so we can get where the player starts. We can later change it, but I think it works in every case. So, we return, well, first we define let starting chords. We get the information from path1 info. We get the first value, the X, and from the first value again, we get the Y. So we return the starting coordinates. That's all we need, right? Yeah. Well, not really. No, maybe we do. Well, we will see. So, we get the starting coordinates, and we need to do something with those. We need to teleport make the player start in that position. We could save it in a variable and then do a move player, but we can do it through script inside this script window, right? Help, come on, okay. Position. Is there a way to move the player? Set position, no? I think we should just teleport, right? Ouch. Sure? So we move the player to starting chords X, starting chords Y value. The map ID is this map ID. Let's see. Map ID, something like this, right? Map ID. Here. Game map ID. That's the way to reference the map we are on. Okay, we get X, Y. The direction is default 0. The fate type always 0. Let's see. Okay, the teleport is right, but the fate type is wrong. Maybe 2 is the fate type without changing anything. Like the instantaneous one. Okay, Doja Sokoban, we are there, and now we need to start from there and reach here and push ourselves away. Simple. It did crash. Is this an infinite loop? I feel like this caused an infinite loop. Probably due to the while here. It didn't find the right route. We should then do 4 to avoid problems. 4. Let d equal to 0. Every loop d++. And at the end, if d is more than, let's say, 1000, we say got stuck, abort loop, and we do a, how it's called, a break, right? Okay. Let's see now if we can get other problems. That's why loops can be dangerous quite a while. Okay, there is a image here which shouldn't be there, but okay. Save. Okay, this is it. Let's see if I can dodge other sokobans. Impossible path here. Okay. We can work on this later though, right? We can work on this later. Or I can work on it myself, I don't know. Because now that I have the full path, I should draw. I should place the rocks. So, what's the way to put rocks? We have a function. Place rocks for the sokoban. And we get the path 1 info and the path 2 info. Separated because they work slightly differently. So for the first of all, we need to check if there is anything in one of those two. Ah, this music is familiar. I don't know. So, first we need to so let's return to our sokoban brainstorming. Sokostorming, how it's called, I don't know. So we saw that here we push rocks. That's what we do, right? So that means in this path we should be careful on which rocks to place. For example, in each line there shouldn't be more than one rock. Because if there's two, we cannot push them away. If there's only one, we need to push them forward. So, to be specific, there needs to be only one rock on those 4 ties, because we need to push it in the ties number 9. So, one here, one here, one here, and so on. And so on, Sokonban? No? Never mind. That means we need to split the route in parts. Every part needs to include the next step. Yeah, so each route has 3 types of ties. The starting point, like here the starting point, the middle part, and the last one. There should be a rock only on those. So I can just exclude the first one. The first one needs to be free. So first one needs to be free. The last one needs to be added, because for now it's not included. And we need to check for each time we change direction. Let's see. So first we need to split the path info into parts. That doesn't sound super straightforward, but we can manage. So how do we do? For s equal to 1, I would like to skip the first tile because it's the one you start from. S is less than path1 info length s++. Okay. One extra thing, the last stretch shouldn't be covered by any rock, because otherwise you can push it towards the player. How do we remove the last part, though? How do we remove the last part? I cannot just spawn rocks and then at the end think, oh wait, no, never mind. We remove the last one. What's the best approach for this? We should probably draw the rock only after we find... Yeah, we could store the values and draw the rock, the previous rock, only when we are sure there is a next one. Okay. Kinda weird, but we can do it. So, for each rock, first we should store some values here. Let... how to store it? Yeah, placed rock in segment. Okay, by default is false. Okay. So now we have a random chance to place a rock in the segment. So let random chance be a math random and check if it's less than 0.4. We can have like a 40% chance to generate a rock in the line. I would say a little more. Okay, 0.6. So if the random chance works and we didn't place any rock in the segment, then we place a rock in the segment. Or at least that's what we should do. We should instead draw the rock the next iteration, because we need to check if there is a next part, a next moment, a next part, right? That's a little complicated. Let's see. We cannot just remove the last rock. That's a thing. We can place it later though. So, we need to see how we spawn the buttons here. Here, Gulf spawn event, the number 4, if I'm correct. The 4, yeah, the block. Let's see. The number 4 in coordinates, X and Y. Okay, we just need to store the variables then. So, let record for rock 0, 0. Or we can say false. So, if the first time we don't spawn it, then if the thing exists. Wait, how? No, here. If the thing exists, we spawn it. But we don't spawn the rock. We spawn the rock before, because again we need to check if we are on the right track. But it's not really the full solution because we don't know if we are on the last track. So we should just delete the last track entirely. I think that would help immensely. So we should split it based on the last time a specific value happens. We can do it. So we should do 2 loops for it. So let index of last turn. We can have a number. Okay. So we do another loop for this. We can have 0 as less than the length and all of that again. Okay. So in this first time of the loop, we check if we are turning on specific tiles. Again, here when we turn, when we turn, I mark every tile where we turn, so it's easy to remember. So if the specific spot of the tile info in the information of the turn is equal to true, or we don't need to check if it's true. If it's true, we mark it. Index of the last turn is this index in particular. Okay. And we repeat until we have the last index of the turn. For example, here if we... Well, it's a little full here. Okay. If we have a path like this, the last turn will be this one probably. So we just remove all the thing up after this. So we won't mistakenly place a rock on top of it. How can we remove it? It's simple, with a splice. At the end, we splice. Updated path1 info is a path info 1 splice at the index of last turn, and we how does it work? Elements to remove. Everything else? How do we remove everything else? Okay, we need to ask Google again. Let's see. Not shift. Well, we may... there's a lot of those. Slice, probably. Hello, music. Are you fine? Ah, wait. If... it's lagging. Hello? Are we having problems on stream? It's fine. OBS, are you fine? Yeah, OBS is fine, weirdly enough. If the ender argument is omitted, splices the rest of the array. Okay, okay. Awesome. I think it's Opera that's lagging. And it's also a middle between Opera and OBS. So we just splice the rest of the array from that index. Is it included? I feel like it's included. We can then hold the last value then. Do we? How does it work? Because it doesn't save the last spot here. Doesn't save this one. The last one should be this one. And I don't know if it has a turn. I think it does. So inevitably this will be the last one. So do we even need to do this in first place? Because this one is not even considered. Okay, maybe we don't need all of this, but it was a quite a neat exercise, huh? Wouldn't you agree, right? Okay. I hope I did not overcomplicate for nothing. So, returning to there, let's avoid this issue entirely. So, now we can just spawn the rock whenever we need it. So, again, for each segment, we place a rock. We spawn on the coordinates x and y, being pt.1 info of the current iteration, the first, wait, it's an S, on the x, same on the y. Okay. And that's it. It spawns them in the way. But only the first part. For now, let's see. pt.1 info, pt.2. Let's see the game spawn those rocks. Okay, here I push it away, and there's two rocks in the way. Why? 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 Let's see again. Why are there two rocks in the... Ah, wait. Yeah, my bad, because I didn't say it to not spawn more than once. I forgot this part, probably. Yeah. So, place the rock in the segment is false. So, we need to say, hey, we placed a rock now in this segment. Though, this is true forever now. We need to deactivate it. So we need to deactivate it after a turn. So, if the last tile was a turn, then... Well, first, if this tile was a turn, so the value number 2, then place the rock in segment returns false, because we are entering a new segment. Let's see. Maybe not right position, but it's fine, it's fine. I knew it. Not fine. Okay, here, you see, there's nothing in this path, though. We should make that if nothing spawns, we should still spawn it at the last one. So, we should have the same comparison before. Well, not really. It should have another comparison. If it's the last part of the segment and we didn't place a rock, it's the time to spawn it without consequences. That's what we like, right? To spawn rocks without consequences. Here, now the rock spawns at the end of the segment if it didn't before. And only if it didn't. Let's see. Not really what I thought it would happen. Doesn't seem right. Why it's not right? Why it's not right? If not placed rock in segment. Yeah, this should default to true. Why? I don't see the issue here. Also, why nothing spawns? Maybe the problem is elsewhere, because nothing spawns after that. 1, 2. Oh yeah, here's an issue. I was worried about this. You can still win, but... Ah, yeah, there's an enemy blocking the way. Oh, okay, there's also the enemy blocking the way. So there are issues. We can work on those. I can work on those off stream. We first want to spawn everything. So, the thing we want now, we need to fill the rest, because for now it's simple. I can just avoid the main path and go elsewhere. That's why we need to spawn rocks even on the other sides. So, now we do and last loop for a, let a equal to 0, a is less than the arena, where is it? My arena length. We start with height. Less, okay. I think it's best if I directly use... No, it's fine. And A increases. Maybe it's better if I use the coordinates straight away, huh? So we start with my arena start x. Ends on at my arena end x, or wait, in this case y. We start with y. Don't ask me why. I know, I'm funny. And the same for the x. We can copy this. For x, my arena start x less than and equal to my arena end x. Same above. We corrected this at the start of the stream. I will increase the x. Okay. Now, for each of those, we check if the value is contained in one of those. How do we check? Good question. I don't know how if it's possible. Could we just check it if the coordinates are stored? I feel like we can. But only for one of those. The other one doesn't have... we can do it the manual way, sure. Yeah, we have 2 arrays to check. We could join them. So, full array is pt.1 join. How was it? How do we join them? Final path full. Oh, concat. Okay. Okay, here we have the full value. Or we can just send the final path here instead of doing extra calculations. No, it's fine. Let's keep them separated in case we need them. Who knows? Okay, now we do an extra loop. I think we can use a function to make it a little simpler. I don't know. We need to check if in that specific coordinate x and y the path is already used, or it's part of the path. Let's see. Sokoban path, and we define x, y, and full path here. Okay, we just do a loop for let a equal to 0, a less than the length on the entire path we need to avoid to draw onto. I had to sneeze. Okay. I increase a. So we check every value inside and we check if the x and y match. If x is equal to the value of the iteration a x, and also for the y. If they match, then yeah, it's true. If none of those match, return false. Okay, that's pretty convenient. Instead of using a variable to store it, well, we create a function for it, so I don't know how much it's different. Oh well. So now we have the condition. If it's part of sokoban path, we do something. Well, the opposite actually. If it's not part of the sokoban path, it means we can freely draw on it. if there is no enemy on top of it. So we should probably add another condition. Which one did we use? Is tile for movement walkable? Probably this one. Is tile for movement walkable? Okay. And if all of this is true, we draw a rock on X and Y. Simple. Wait. Okay, in this case we draw on every tile. We should put some randomness. Let's see for now. Let's see what happens. Did I mess up something? Full path length. What's wrong? I didn't send any parameter. X, Y, full path. Okay. Let's see, Mr. Goblin. Got stuck. Okay, still an infinite loop though. I don't think break and closes the loop at this point. Wait. I shouldn't... yeah, break. Breaks. Right. I don't get it. I wrote it right. I'm also lost. Here. No, I don't know, okay. Here. Break. Yeah. Board loop break and it's over. Well, wait, D? Yeah. We can also do this. If this stuff or D is more than 1000. Okay. This will inevitably break. D plus 1 here. Okay, just in case it happens again. Well, it will inevitably happen again, but we'll hopefully fix it. Doesn't say anything now. It still crashes. Well, still infinite loops. Why does it loop though? Because... let's see now. I just wanted to check here. Why it's stuck in an infinite loop right now though? I didn't change anything of the core, right? Now it's getting stuck without saying anything. Maybe it's a problem after it then. Not here. But we saw that it caused a problem here though. Let's revert it back. Let's see. To see if the problem is really there. No, okay, the problem is probably elsewhere. Unless I forgot to save, which I didn't. The problem is elsewhere. An infinite loop somewhere else, though? That's peculiar. Where does it get stuck though? I don't think the game is telling me at all. Let's see. If I don't place the... Wait. We just don't call this thing. debugging is little frustrating, but the good way is to take it with some order. Here. Yeah, okay. So the problem is probably after this. It loops infinitely. Why? Wait, why is this color different? Marina start X. Marina end X. I think it's normal. So X starts with this. The loop is infinite. Okay, let's not call this part. And see if the problem is there then. Or if it's in the arena definition. Okay, yeah. Nice, or I don't know. But the problem is before. That's a good find. The problem is here. Oh, okay, yeah, I get why. The why here, I copied pasted without checking. Okay. Maybe the problem is found. Let's see. Yes. Okay, apart from not randomizing them though, the problem is we don't want to spawn a rock in the next tile. That's why we should probably push to the path1 info the next tile where we are pushing. So if yeah, so for each time we find a time where we turn in a path, that means the rock will be pushed one time forward. So we need to add another. Oh no, we need to consider direction now, right? Oh, not the direction. We should store. Wait, we should store it in another variable instead then. I think it's better. While we create the path. Here. Where we turn. Here. When we turn, we should also save final path. Let parts after turning. So parts after turning, we add ourselves extra spots to not cover. So we draw this specific point, the specific point we are turning, plus the coordinates of the next tile. So we should add again the direction value of the direction we are facing. Though the current direction now considers the direction after the turn, we should consider the direction before. We should have, well, sure, let's have another variable. Let previous direction is, I would say, destination direction 0, but we check if that's same. So we try to guess if the previous direction was the first one. We check if the current direction is this one. If it is, then we switch it. Okay. So now we can store the coordinates of the next tile we are pushing the rock towards when we are turning. So here, path x plus direction value of the previous direction 0. Same with y. Okay, so now we sum to the coordinates one extra tile to consider moving in the extra tile in that direction. That will create an extra array that stores extra tiles we shouldn't draw rocks on. So we get, instead of one variable, we get 2. Final path, and we get also parts after turning. So that means we got sums. That means when we get the full path info, we are getting 2 parameters. So let's make it better. So draw path. We should just call it path 1 here and get information about path info 0, and also get let after corners to get the other information. Okay, we just need to replace these somewhere else though, like a lot of things here, 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 here. Okay, at this point we also send after corners to the function we were just doing. Can we concat 2 arrays in a row? I think we can. Concat here. Yeah, we can concat 2 arrays. Okay. So after corners. Okay. Probably should be defined as a parameter for the function. Okay. Okay, now it has every information here. And so it checks if there are even the corners there. And now we shouldn't draw on the corners. Let's see. Okay, here. Okay, seems more reasonable here as a puzzle, you see? Except there's one extra wrong step. Okay, almost there. Almost there. We should also free the tiles around it. But you saw that it felt more like a puzzle now. Let's see again. Okay, the loop went wrong. I see. I think I should still fix it, but later. So before fixing anything else, no, I should keep the rocks fully drawn. Later I will put a randomize in it to not have the arena fully placed, but for now you can see that, well, apart this, why there's the line here completely empty? Okay, you can see though that the puzzle is taking shape. Again though, there are some parts that are not drawn. That's definitely not intentional. And also this tile should not be drawn, but I can do that at the end of the route. I take an extra one. I think that would help immensely. Also, I should consider if I can push them out of the map. I think I will be able to do it. So, it's when we do the first part of the map. Before being over, right here, it stops, because it stops right when, here, right when we reach the end tile. That means we need to add an extra information. So we push an extra value in the parts after turning. Oh, hello there, Mutation Ivory. Hey, hello, it's going. No time for red quote. How you been? It's cooking. Nice. Oh yeah, I love raid quotes. Thanks a lot for the raid. How it's going? No time for a quote. Have you been? What's cooking? It's cooking, well, something peculiar for sure. And almost functional for now. It's a battle on grid, as you can see, but with a twist. Now we were programming a minigame to dodge. We need to complete the sokoban to avoid taking damage. Unfortunately, it's unbeatable now because the last tile is blocked. Also, sometimes it's completely unbeatable, and that's it. But why are those rocks outside of the arena? Yeah, something is not really right, but not completely wrong either. We can still work on this. Oh, hello, Coco. Hello everyone. Thanks again for the raid. Oh, but the follow! Talking about Coco, yeah, thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it. Drinking rumorously to commemorate the moment. Very interesting. Thanks. I'm excited for how it's gonna turn out. Well, I hope I can do it in time for the end of the contest. I still have like 9 days. But I also have like a thesis in the middle, so I don't know if I can do it in time. Oh, and hello, Fancy Master Lead! What's happening? 2 races in a row! Wait! How it's going? Thanks a lot for the raid. We are programming here something peculiar. Wait, let me show it again. Also to pinpoint better what's the problem. So again, we are doing a normal game on a grid, a simple battle game on a grid, except you need to do something to dodge the enemy attacks, like a sokoban! Yeah, who doesn't love sokobans? Oh, this one is beatable. Ah, wait, here. Of course, I need to explain the goal of the sokoban, because you need to push yourself out. It will be a little more complicated than that. After all, it's beyond expectation, the theme of the game. Hey, Fancy, it's really cool, thanks! I really appreciate it. I hope I can do more than this, because doing every dodge minigame requires some time. I started this, 2 days ago on stream. Well, yesterday I didn't do anything, so it's for now 4 hours of work for a simple mini game for dodging an attack. But it's so cool when it's on work, so I have to keep it. Thesis alongside the game jam. Yeah, talk about hard mode. Luckily after that it's finished, so after the thesis I would have 3 free days? 3 completely free days of nothing but game jam, hopefully. I feel like tossing some pasta. Oh yeah, I love some pasta as well. Does my Italian accent feel so strong? So well, I agree though. I actually didn't eat pasta. I ate pizza, so I hope it counts. So we saw the problem here, apart from this other bug. Oh, which also can cause other bugs. So we saw the problem that we need to define an extra tile to not cover with the rocks. Because, for example, I wanted this tile to be free. Because I cannot push this rock on top of it. Luckily, that will be the end of the path. That's why we just need to add it to... where is it? We need to add it at the end of the code that draws it. So we define an extra tile to not draw on top of it. Let's see if it works. Okay, yeah, it's free here. Of course, the green is the path that we show for debugging. The end game shouldn't have it. Let's see if we can solve it. Also, I appreciate a lot having a prior function that I used for the game, using it for debugging. That's why I'm starting to love programming here and not in the game engine. I put pineapple on pizza. Okay, someone needs to be banned from here. Nah, I'm kidding. For now. If you want to make Waldorf into enemy, show me a video of breaking spaghetti. You don't break spaghetti, okay? A friend of mine, Italian, I have to specify, did it. My entire friend group just didn't agree. And so he changed his way. So at the end, there were some character development. He broke the spaghetti, yeah, but later he was banned from the friend group. No, I'm kidding. We just convinced him it was not a true Italian way, you know. He broke the spaghetti and the trust we had in him. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's see. Now we don't have the path anymore, though it's weird that it's not drawing there in this line. And also there's a straight line here. Having a straight line... Okay, this is a little better. Still wrong because... There is no... Ah yeah, there is a solution here, but that's not the intended one, right? Maybe I should still draw it for debugging, but... I don't think there was an intended solution in this. Let me see, wait, I can... Oh, wrong button. Nice, I cannot see Twitch anymore. Opera is pretty laggy sometimes. Yeah, go away, okay. I wanted to open the debug menu, okay, here. Can we see it on top of the game without it running out of time? So, this was the intended path solution. Luckily, we have debugging tools for everything. My wife is Italian too. You should try and see what happens if I break some spaghetti. I suggest you against it. We may see into a nasty breakup. No, I'm kidding. I think it could be a nice way to joke a little and see a reaction. Nice. If you're going to break spaghetti by a different pasta. Yeah. That's a good argument. You just buy shorter pasta if you don't like it long. You don't break the heart of numerous Italians for it. Okay. Let me see where the problem stands, because this is the path. 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, so it goes up. 7, 6. No. 7, 6, okay. It goes, okay, it goes like this. Let's see if it works. No, because there's a rock in the way. Ah, wait. 11, 10, 9. Ah, yeah, a block in the way and you push it on the left. Go up. Okay, yeah, it's a valid option. Though, again, there are some blocks that are not valid. There are some blocks that are not drawn by default. We should check in this issue. Well, we have a different issue probably, but let's see. You can see, those blocks are not drawn. And neither those. Wait. I should probably... Wait. We should draw again the debug path, because... let's use cheats as long as we can, okay? We need to see the solution. Here. Okay, this block is empty for some reason. Those other have sense to be... Make sense to be empty, but... Those two doesn't make sense. Why are those two empty? And this one? I don't get it. Are they in the list? Let's see, we could draw them as well. Oh, you know what? We can do this. We can draw the corners in a different color. Let's see, different color, right? By default it's move. Yeah, okay. It should be area, right? I don't remember the other parameter here. Oh, skill is better, okay. Okay, so we can see all the colors we need. If you put it in a plastic bag, hammer it into small fragments, they go for divorce. Divorce speedrun any percent, right? That's not really the best way to express love, I have to say, but the fans, love is blind after all. Okay, yeah, that's what I was suspecting. The blue tiles are the tiles of the corners, but those are not corners. Something is wrong, definitely. The blue should be only at the end of a segment, not on the side. I add them just by random at this point. What happens? What happens? My boy code. The title of the Reading for. Yeah, I saw the link, though I can expect what it is. Though I'm not opening it now, unfortunately. Ah, the subreddit is also with a nice name. Waldorf sounds so motivated. Well, you know the trick, streaming. Because when I stream, when there's the hours to stream, I get motivated. Because before I was kinda working on the presentation of the thesis, but sometimes when I need to make games, I feel like doing else. Like procrastinating. With streaming on specific hours, though, I don't have any excuse. I will get publicly shamed if I don't develop on stream. Everyone will say, oh, Waldorf is lazy, Waldorf doesn't like to make games. So I have the extra motivation, the extra commitment to go here and start making games. That's a good trick. It's also similar for the YouTube videos. There was a period where I did the YouTube videos in Italian, but at some point I stopped making them because I didn't have the energy for them. But I continued with streaming because it happens that sometimes I'm not in the mood to stream. I say, yeah, I'm a little tired, but sure, I will try to start the stream and see if we can make it short. And no, after 10 minutes, I'm back on full energy and I'm like, oh yeah, it's good, yeah, let's go, full night stream. Because the motivation sometimes comes when you start doing something. The hard part, which I unfortunately still struggle with, is starting with something. After I start though, I need way less energy to keep on it. Until I get tired, of course, but starting is the big first step for doing anything. I wish I could learn it. That's why I printed and glued my character in the wall in front of me, so I can always see her, and maybe she will motivate me by watching on me, hoping I can do something more. I need to introduce Waldorf to Freizeiher, I mean. Who is this mysterious character? I'm curious. Ain't nobody talking on my streams, and terrible talking myself. Well, sometimes I also stream and there is nobody in chat, so usually I get motivated. At the start I didn't, and now I care less, but in some periods I get motivated when there is no one in chat. Not now, or maybe depends, like if it's a game I care a lot about, maybe a little, I don't know. But yeah, talking alone, I don't know why I'm talking a lot on stream. Well, for developing, I like to explain what I'm doing, at least trying to explain what I'm doing. While games, often I talk about what I'm doing. It came natural after a while. I will follow and probably lurk. Well, don't worry, lurks are also very appreciated. I just miss any command for them. So don't worry, I appreciate everything. I just want to share the moments on stream. Unfortunately, at some point I hid my viewer count to avoid being, well, depressed. Though in the future I might consider setting it back, though it depends. I don't think I'm still ready. In the future for sure, though. You deliver on the positive vibes, thanks. That's the one thing I count on. Well, it's not even a character, I just... well, I don't see the reason to be upset or... Well, I can be jokingly upset, but I don't see the reason to stream and bring negative vibes or just passive vibes. Because if you stream, well, you should put... you should show that you're having fun, right? It's not a chore streaming for me, for now. So yeah, at this point I can just be honest and say, yeah, I'm having fun on streaming. As long as it lasts. Sing as you code, are you doing plugin commissions? Oh, not really. Because my code is usually a mess. Though if you need script suggestions, not plugins though, because those are longer to write, but for example just suggestions about how to structure something, you're open to ask. Even if I would suggest to join the programmer Discord. I'm always open to suggest ways to program something or how to approach them. Though I don't think I will do plugins. It's a good suggestion though, because would be a nice way to make some extra money. But I don't know if I'm ready to make some clean plugins for everything. And also, my expertise usually is in mixing the two things. Plugins are only code. Here though, I'm not doing only code. I do code implemented in the game itself. So it's not something I'm used to. That's right though, I did a lot of edits in an extra code as a plugin for other things for my games. I will never touch this black magic of coding. Well, it's good magic. It's like being a wizard that can create their own spells. Well, as I said some times ago, programming is like being both an investigator and a wizard at the same time. It's truly magical. Okay. What were I doing? I need to investigate on the issue. We found that, weirdly enough, it draws the light blue squares that shouldn't be colored. I don't know why. Let's see. It colors them for each tile. For each tile it colors them. Maybe we need a condition. Yes, we need a condition! Ah! I forgot the condition, that's the problem. Okay, now I get it. Oh, thanks a lot for the follow, Harlequin. Thanks. Nice to see you there. I'm happy I convinced you. Are you always stream on your game dev? Well, before I only stream game dev like 1 or 2 times a week. Now I kinda doubled on it because there's the game jam. But I also stream other games. Usually Saturday I try a game I like. Next, in like 8 days, I'm gonna start Everhood 2. And on Sunday we play a visual novel. Now we are playing Katawa Shoujo. Meanwhile, the rest on the workday we do RPG Maker, developing and or playing games. in about 1 week or something more, we start only playing games because it's the end of the contest and we need to play all of them. Well, most of them at least. So yeah, usually the work day is fully dedicated to RPG Maker because yeah, we work. We kinda work. Okay, I realized the mistake. When we define the tiles we should not draw into, I wanted to add one only at each corner, but apparently I added one each tile, which is, yeah, wrong. So, we check if the tile has a corner. Here. We already have it here. If we change direction at random, that means we need to add an extra tile to safeguard the completability of the puzzle. Sounds easy. Let's see. I think it's right though. Let's see. Here. Okay, yeah, this one is perfect. Awesome. I don't like this long line though, but it's inevitable because there was the goblin there. And there is still this issue. Okay, yeah, there is the long line, but because the goblin is in the way. That means I go up and then I cannot go left again. I go up again. That's the only thing left. Because the destination point is this one. I should change the code a little, because it's a little limiting to be on the opposite side and only being able to go up 2 tiles. I could make the player be able to go up as long as it can, but leave the way to the player completely untouched. We could do it. Yeah, I don't like the long line, but with enemy in the way it's kinda hard to have it something slightly different. I might bother you with playing my game. Oh, wait, you participate as well in the game jam? Well, I will gladly play your game. Or even if it's not. Though, for now, since we are in the period, I will give priority to all the game jam games. Because there will be a lot. But yeah, we plan to play most of them, so yours is probably included if that's the case. We can also... if that's the case, we can also arrange a specific day just to have... if you're interested to participate, we can have a stream in a preferred day. Though I always stream on the work day on those hours. Okay, we could keep it like this. Maybe I could improve the formula later. We could do an extra change for now. So first, as before, we remove the solution. So we need to think, and we might want to randomize the fact that we are drawing an extra rock. So where is it? Here. Here we draw a rock on each unused tile, but we can make it random. If mat random is more than 0.7, then we draw it. That's not very dense, but maybe it depends on the rock. Okay, 0.3. We make it very dense then. I set a game, but I don't think I'll participate. Not having good ideas. Well, it happens. There's a lot of times where sometimes there's no ideas for a game and you just don't want to participate. I didn't plan to participate on this one, actually. But after a while I thought, yeah, but this idea could be interesting, and I worked more on it. So yeah, depends if the right inspiration strikes you. That's the thing. If I didn't have an inspiration, I didn't plan to make a game at all, because I'm not the one to participate in game jams by forcing the team. That's why I don't like when I saw people forcing the team, like, oh yeah, the story went beyond expectations, they say in the game. Yeah, no, that's not how you participate a game jam, random guy. Yeah, that's why I don't like when people do that stuff. But yeah, I can definitely play the other games. Though again, you might have to wait after all the others. Beyond expectation is too vague. I know, I heard other people. I was also one of the first ones to also agree that the team is not really the best one for a game jam. But at the end I got ideas, so I'm not really complaining, huh? Well, I also complained because usually I use the ideas as for the gameplay instead of the story itself. That's also what made me a little more upset, but again, at the end I found something. Oh, hello Zoro, hiding the bash for +2 defense. This should be decoration. It also, the bash disappears when you target, because it deletes the layer. Yeah, it was to try decorating the map, but first they get deleted, second, I don't know, I will consider later. Though I'm still behind on everything else that's not the battle programming. Though I defined the basics for the story, which is beyond expectations. Let's see. There is no solution this time. Let's see. Okay, well, this feels easy. Let's see. Out of range. Okay, we did it. This one will bug, right? Yeah. Let's try again. I think this is possible, right? Yeah. Like this. Aha! Whoa! I'm actually having fun here. Wow! Wow! Indeed. Oh, this one works. Yeah, this one is hard. I'm stuck. Wait, this was not possible, right? This was not possible, huh? Or did I mess up? What was the intended solution? So 11-7, 10-7, 10-6. So here. But I couldn't push up, right? Because there was the other. 9-6, 9-5. Ah, wait. 11-7, 10-7. Here. But there is a goblin. No, it's impossible. I didn't consider that, right? Oh. I did. Okay, there's a bug here. I didn't consider that you cannot push in the next tile if there is a goblin. So there is an unbeatable path here. Interesting. No worries about the weight. Okay, got to polish the new demo. Awesome. So I can see it the best it can be. Or the bester it can be. I'm pretty critical, so you should be ready. Okay, so if the next tile you cannot push on the next one, what do we do? Good question. I don't have the slight idea. We should just not throw a rock in that tile at all, but that's not as simple to say. I'm the most critical person I know. You got nothing on me. Okay, nice. Well, I know also another streamer, Annoyed Nova, which will also be a judge at the game jam, which is way more critical. I'm actually trying to be nice very often. Nova though doesn't pull any punches, so you might find a friend with Nova, I don't know. So, we have a problem. Maybe we can solve this problem and then end the stream. Because we went over the 2 hours. So, here it's placing the rocks. If it's turning the next tile should be saved. Okay, and the next tile shouldn't have a rock. But if it has an enemy, what do I do? Maybe, no, this one should be defined in the pathing. Oh wait, we can solve it 2 different ways though. We can solve it 2 different ways. First, we could change the path the random path, the creation. We could make a path that doesn't include pushing rocks in spaces where the goblins are into. Or when we place rocks, we can avoid placing a rock in the line before an enemy. Still, both not simple solutions. The one of not putting a rock is the simplest, but will make the minigame slightly easier. I can just increase the timer at this point. While for the pathing, let's see what I can do. I should check 2 tiles in advance instead of 1. Yeah, that's a good idea, because if I reach a tile before an event, I cannot even turn. Because if I push a rock, I cannot move it forward a bit. Okay, so we need to make another condition. Here. When we check if the tile is valid. We check if the tile movement is walkable. We should also make another condition. Why is this by default? Why is overshooting, if it's true, it continues? I'm a little confused. Wait, here. Okay, here, if there is an issue, we enter this condition here. We should have another one entirely. So. No, it's fine. Okay, so we need to make another condition. If. Oh, wait. Let enemy 2 tiles away. And we check if it's true or false. We check it through a condition here. The same one here. Well, for now it has the same functioning, but we may want to simplify it. We want a similar one where is tile with enemy. We just want to check enemies, right? Yeah. No, never mind. We can use the other one. Because for now, is tile for movement walkable, checks if there is something blocking the way. We are not checking the area boundaries. We just check if there is an event in that tile. So, we do the same check, but this time, instead of checking the next tile, like the code here is doing, we check 2 tiles ahead, which we can simply get by multiplying the parameter of the direction by 2. Again, if we want to check the tile above, we need to add the parameter for above, which is x, we add nothing, and y, we subtract 1, because it goes 1 value above. By multiplying by 2, we subtract 2, so we check 2 tiles above. Same for each coordinate, okay. So here we get a condition, and if there is an enemy 2 tiles away, then we might enter in the territory of you might want to change direction. Okay, let's see if now there's an issue. I kinda love playing it by myself now, though. Let's see. Impossible. It's this problematic. Impossible again. We should see the problem here. What's the problem? Yeah, good luck finding the problem here. Yeah, I'm not the best for reading what the hell this means. I should probably... So again. What it does is checks if there's an enemy 2 tiles away. Ah, wait. Wait. This returns true if there's nothing. So it should be the opposite. Okay, okay. Okay, now I get it. Otherwise it found enemies everywhere. Okay, okay. And now sokoban, here. This one is simple. Let's see. Safe. We need to push our body in the safe zone. Here. Wow, I'm loving this. I'm loving this, wow. Here. Here. I'm having so much fun with my games. Wow, that's in, here. Oh, yes. I'm having fun. I can't believe it. Wow. Let's see if I go into a corner. I mean, the other one, okay. Here. I'm very surprised. I think I messed up. Yeah, I messed up. Ouch. No, it's fine. It was my mistake. Okay, here. Oh, wait. This one was defined impossible. But maybe it's possible. I don't know. Okay. Solution for this one is here, 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 here. What was the solution? So the solution is this. 11. You go up. You go up and you go left. Up, up, left. Okay, that was my solution. Up, 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 left. Up, left. Up, left, up, left. Okay, now what do I do? Ah, okay. It wants me to go left again, right? And that's impossible, because I would go on the player itself. Okay, that's the issue. That's another issue we need to fix. It shouldn't be the tile with the player. Okay. I think we can work on it. Okay, so we need to make another condition. If there is a function for it. Let me find it. Let's see. Check player coordinates. Almost. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. Pause, something like this. Yeah, here. Game player pause XY. Returns true if the player is in those coordinates. We may want to have some alternatives here. Let 2 tiles X. To make it a little more readable, probably. So here we get the X coordinate 2 tiles ahead, and same with Y here. Probably more readable. Probably. So here 2 tiles X, 2 tiles Y, and same here. Okay, so if the player is in 2 tiles, or the tiles in 2 tiles is not workable, then we have a problem. We need to do something though if it's not possible. We should run it multiple times until it finds the right one, stopping at a certain value. This is simple here. Wait, why this? Ah, the path below was the solution here. But there is no rock. Ah, because this one needs to be free. We didn't draw anything here. What was the intended solution? Is above, go up, and then why was this empty? Up, yeah, I definitely can see a solution, and they all the way left. Why this was empty then? I think we can still draw the cheating solution here. Okay. Just to see the matters. We are not cheating, I swear. It's my game. Nothing will get upset if I cheat. No one. Okay, why are those... Ah, wait, because it's random. Now I get it. It's random. The solution is there, but I can just go in the other solution here. Okay. Okay, this one felt impossible, but... Yeah, this one is definitely impossible. I should make when a path is impossible to draw just a very low amount of rocks and far away. So the player can maybe figure out a solution. But I think I will do it only when the player is on a side. Because if I'm here, there will be way less solutions. Now there are, luckily. Here. Wait, I cannot push it out of the bounds. That's a scam. Yeah, I was considering being able to push it outside. But there should be an extra check for it. I would say though, to make it more accessible, like pushing the player when it's on the border, I'm on the border, I should make that you can push out of the borders, sometimes. Depends on the borders then. Though I should consider if there is an hitbox outside. That's important. Okay. I think we can end it here. It's clearly not perfect, but I will refine part of it out of stream. And next time we might do something more. So, to end the stream. Let's see. Okay, that's perfect. So we will continue developing the next Monday. We are not gonna stop. And the next week will be the last week of programming, and I feel like we are still behind. I still need to do all the story. Help me. But apart from that, we are having fun. That's the important part. And also winning. That's also important. Nah. Okay. So, again, that's everything for today. We will see each other Monday for other development and Sunday for some visual novel with Katawa Shoujo. And we'll see ya whenever happens. Bye bye.